What if I told you that this year's World Cup is unlike anything football has ever seen? More teams, more matches, a brand new knockout round, and some of the biggest powerhouses on the planet all set on a collision course. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down everything you need to know about the 2026 FIFA World Cup, the new format, how every country got their spot, and the giants you absolutely need to watch. Let's get into it. The big change from 32 to 48 teams. For almost 3 decades from 1998 all the way through Qatar, 2022, the World Cup had the same structure. 32 teams, 8 groups, and 64 matches. That's the World Cup most of us grew up with. That's gone now. The 2026 FIFA World Cup, hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, is the first ever to feature 48 teams. That's 16 more nations than we've ever seen before. And as a result, the total number of matches has jumped from 64 all the way to 104, a 68% increase. Now, this idea wasn't born overnight. FIFA President Gianni Infantino floated the expansion as far back as 2016, and on January 10th, 2017, the expansion to 48 teams was officially approved. The final format, 12 groups of 4 teams, was locked in by a FIFA Council decision on March 14, 2023. Why not just use 16 groups of 3? FIFA actually considered that, but scrapped it. Groups of 3 were seen as a major risk for match fixing, where 2 teams could collude in the final game to both progress. 4-team groups solved that problem while keeping the competitive integrity fans expect. How the new format actually works. Here's the tournament structure broken down. The 48 teams are divided into 12 groups, labeled Group A through Group L. Every team still plays 3 group stage matches, just like before. But here's where it gets different. Under the old format, only 2 teams per group advanced, 16 teams total, going straight into the round of 16. Under the new format, the top 2 from each group still advance automatically, but now the 8 best third-place teams from across all 12 groups also qualify. That means 32 teams move into the knockout stage, entering a brand new round of 32. From there, it's single elimination. Round of 32, round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final. The champion will have played 8 matches to lift the trophy, one more than in Qatar. The tournament kicked off on June 11, 2026, with Mexico beating South Africa 2-0 at the legendary Estadio Azteca. The final is set for July 19th at MetLife Stadium in New York. How each confederation got their spots. This is where the real story of inclusion begins. FIFA divides the world into 6 confederations, and each one was handed a share of the 48 spots based on their size, strength, and global football development. Here's the breakdown. UEFA 16 spots, the largest single allocation. 12 teams qualified directly through group stage winners, and 4 more came through European playoffs. In the previous 32-team format, Europe had 13 spots, so they gained 3, but as a percentage of the overall field, Europe actually shrank from 41% down to 33% of the tournament. Half Africa. 9 direct spots plus a playoff berth up from just 5 in Qatar 2022. That's the biggest proportional jump of any confederation. FIFA acknowledged Africa was severely underrepresented for a continent with 54 member nations. 53 African teams competed across 9 qualifying groups. Each group winner went straight through. AFC 8 direct spots plus 1 playoff slot up from 4.5 in the previous cycle. Asia went through 5 qualifying rounds to determine those spots, a reflection of just how many nations compete under the AFC umbrella. CONMEBOL, South America, 6 direct spots plus 1 playoff berth. South America has only 10 member nations, so their qualifying ratio remains among the toughest anywhere. All 10 played each other home and away in a single round-robin league, the most brutal qualification format on earth. CONCACAF, North and Central America. 6 spots total, 3 went automatically to the host nations, USA, Canada, and Mexico. The remaining 3 were decided through qualifying. CONCACAF also got 2 interconfederation playoff slots. OFC, Oceania. one guaranteed direct spot, a historic first. New Zealand qualified comfortably, ending decades of Oceania having to go through intercontinental playoffs just to have a chance. For the first time ever, all six confederations have at least one guaranteed berth, and then there were two extra spots decided through the Interconfederation playoffs in March 2026 in Mexico. Iraq and DR Congo came through those playoffs to claim the final two spots. First-time qualifiers include nations like Jordan, Uzbekistan, Cape Verde, and Curacao, which became the smallest nation ever to qualify. With a population of just 158,000 people, the 12 groups and the powerhouses. Now let's talk about the groups themselves and the teams that can actually win this thing. FIFA implemented a bracket system ensuring that the four top-ranked teams, Spain, Argentina, France, and England, were kept apart. They can only meet in the semifinals or the final. Group A has Mexico as hosts alongside South Korea, and the Czech Republic. Mexico got the honor of opening the tournament. Group B features Canada, Switzerland, Qatar, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Group C has Brazil, five-time world champions, desperate for a sixth star in what could be one of the tournament's most watched groups. Group D is described as the most balanced group in the entire tournament. The USA playing at home are expected to make noise in the knockouts, alongside Turkey, Australia, and Paraguay. Group E and F contain some of Europe's giants battling for top spots. Group L has England, one of the tournament's genuine title contenders. Now the powerhouses. These are the teams to watch. Argentina, the defending champions. Lionel Messi, widely considered the greatest of all time, is appearing at a record 6 World Cup. They are every bookmaker's favorite. France, runners-up in Qatar, with Kylian Mbappe, who scored a hat-trick in that final, ready to go again. They are arguably the most talented squad in the world. Spain, European champions from 2024, with 19-year-old Lamine Yamal already being called generational. Spain are built to play tournament football. Brazil, desperate for glory after missing out in 2022. A nation of 215 million people waiting for a 6th World Cup. The expectation is enormous. England. With Harry Kane leading the line, England have everything needed to finally end 60 years of hurt. The question, as always, is whether they can deliver. Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo, like Messi, is at a record 6th World Cup. Whether he can deliver the one trophy missing from his career is the subplot of the entire tournament. Germany, 4-time world champions, who crashed out in the group stages in both 2018 and 2022. They arrive in 2026 as a dangerous, rejuvenated side looking to remind the world who they are. And keep an eye on Morocco, the 2022 semi-finalists who proved African football belongs at the very top, and Colombia, who quietly had one of the best qualifying campaigns in CONMEBOL. So there you have it, the most expansive, most inclusive, most commercially significant World Cup in history. 48 teams, 12 groups, 104 matches, and a global audience that's never been bigger. Whether you're backing Argentina to go back-to-back, dreaming of France or Spain lifting the trophy, or simply wanting to see an underdog write history, this tournament has a story for everyone. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is already underway, and it is shaping up to be one for the ages. If you found this breakdown useful, drop a like and subscribe. We'll be covering every round as the tournament unfolds. See you in the next one.